But just to take, I kind of have an ABC model that I like to share with people that I think is like when people say, how do I change my life? How do I reinvent myself? The ABCs to me, it starts with acknowledgement. It literally starts with slowing down. We are all, myself included, constantly on autopilot. We are moving too fast. We have deadlines. We have bills to pay, whatever it might be. Is that you just need to, everyone is capable of this. Just take a second to slow down. Just clock how you're feeling. Just, you might even feel it in your body. I know for me, I tend to feel it in my gut, maybe my back even. I feel like my posture is worse. Like there's something about it that I know there's an intensity about me that I'm like, oh, let me, and I'm not judging it. I'm just acknowledging it.
Right.
So I start with acknowledgement, which is usually just means slow down.
Mhm.
That's the A. B is belief.
Mhm.
I read so many self-help books, and I feel like I spent so much money on courses and whatever it was to change my life, and yet I couldn't do it because I kept hearing people say, well, it's your mindset. You have to start with mindset. And I was just like, what do you mean by that? Like, well, if you want to make $1 billion, change your mindset. And I was like, but it just didn't make sense to me. I needed I needed something more tangible. And what I
Mhm.
realized is that there's a step before just, in my opinion, mindset. And it's believing that you're the kind of person that can make change. I was someone that moved through my life for most of my 20s and early 30s that I thought that changing my life or doing something notable with my life was for somebody else. I thought, well, there's the famous actors or the famous, self-starters or the self-made millionaire. That's somebody else's journey. I am a secondary character in their
Mhm.
movie. And I had to believe that I was capable of change because then I wasn't going to do anything because the wall that I kept hitting was that it wasn't my story. And so the second step after you acknowledge is to believe that you could be capable of change, even if you hold space that it being a might. Doesn't mean that you're like, I'm going to have a six pack. It's like, you might,
Mhm.
you could if you tried kind of deal. It doesn't mean that you're going
Mhm.
to, but that just that there's a possibility that you could do that. And the third one so acknowledge, belief,
Believe.
or believe. And the last one is courage. It really is
Mm.
just going, well, I can't do that. Yes. Yes, you can do that. And what's crazy to me is that, and this goes back to the unlearning of it all, it could be the school system, it could be the world that we grew up in. We are constantly bombarded about how we're incapable of doing things, or that it's
Mhm.
somebody else's thing, or that we don't have the
Mhm.
resources, or blah blah blah. Like,
Mhm.
and yes, there are people who obviously who need to, they might not have the resources to be able to really give their focus to kind of self awareness in like this big deep way,
Mhm.
but you have to have the courage to believe that you can begin to do these things and to actually take those first steps. And so for me, I do think that the ABCs of changing your life is to acknowledge, believe, and then having the courage to try.